Flash photography at or near the pilot house is prohibited. Please keep your hands and arms inside the vessel at all times. Interfering with the safe operation of this vessel is illegal and subject to a civil penalty. If you have questions or need assistance, please contact a uniformed crew member. Once again, welcome aboard.
Once again, welcome aboard, ladies and gentlemen, to a 90-minute river architecture cruise. My name is Lucas. I'll be your tour guide today. I'll be teaching a little about Chicago, its history, its culture. Ultimately, it's an architecture tour. I'll point out all these lovely buildings as they go on around us today. Once again, my name is Lucas. That's all you guys need to know about me for the next 90 minutes. But guess what? We're stuck on a boat for the next 90 minutes together, right? Might as well get to know each other, right? Starting right here. I'm joking. We're going to have everybody introduce themselves. Here's how we're going to do this. Make some noise if this is your first time on a Wendella boat ride. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Make some noise if this is your first time in the city of Chicago. Welcome to Chicago, ladies and gentlemen. I promise you, we have better weather sometimes. Ladies and gentlemen, one last group of people. Any Chicagoans, be the loudest. If you guys won't be loud, I will for the next 90 minutes. I got you. Right side of the vessel, let's get this party started, my friends. Get your cameras out, get your eyes out, get your phones out, point to the right. Because you're going to be looking at the two most photographed towers here in the city of Chicago. The unofficial corn cobs of the Midwest, the official Marina City, designed in the 1960s by a man named Bertrand Goldberg. Now when Bertrand Goldberg designed these two towers on the other side of this bridge, he designed two flowers. You have a stem in the middle, you have a units or petals on the outside. And every single one of these units or petals is shaped like a deep dish style of pizza here in the city of Chicago. As you walk in through your front door, it's 3 feet wide. As you walk out to your balcony, 18 feet wide. No 90-degree angles in these buildings whatsoever, because Bertrand Goldberg said there's none in nature. Why would there be in my architecture? Now you have these two towers here on the right side of the vessel. And it has the name Marina City for a reason. At its base, you can see the marina. At its base, you can see the steakhouse. People eating steak I can't afford, maybe they'll wave at us. There you go, they're making us feel better about it. But ultimately, not only just a steakhouse, not just that marina, it also has a parking lot, grocery store, ice skating rink, bowling alley, House of Blues that used to be a movie theater. Everything you can imagine for a city within a city. Nickname, Marina City. But unfortunately, as a lot of people look at those two towers, they actually get a bit anxious, nervous, scared, worried. Why? Well, imagine having to park your car up there. Don't worry, we're going to get a valet worker to do it for you. And don't worry, there's only been 2 times in Chicago history where a car has fallen off the side and gone into the river. And one was for Steve McQueen's The Hunter, a movie. And another one, an Allstate commercial. Now you know, all behind you. Let's go to the right. Right side of the vessel. Other side of this bridge, let me show you a building called the Reed Murdoch Building. Everything I'm about to tell you about the Reed Murdoch Building, you're going to be able to see. Designed in 1914, you can probably see that. Look at that clock tower right there. Now count the buildings to the right of that clock tower. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Left side of the clock tower now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You see all the people eating right there? They have no clue it's lopsided. Clueless. But you guys are about to know why, and that's because of the bridge we're about to go under now. This is the LaSalle Street Bridge, finished in the 1930s. That building, 1914. When we have a problem here in the city of Chicago, we do something very simple when we have a problem, guys. We get rid of it. We should probably get rid of that problem. But that's why we got rid of the 6th bay of the Reed Murdoch Center, to make space for the bridge we just went under now. Let's have a little bit of fun here, though. Let's take it easy. It's hot outside. Raise your hand if you've ever seen the Pentagon here in the United States. Cool, you guys are awesome. Raise your hand if you haven't seen the Pentagon in the United States. You guys, right side of the vessel, on the other side of this bridge. If you've never seen the Pentagon, it is my pleasure to introduce you to the largest concrete building you've ever seen in the United States. If you haven't seen the Pentagon. If you've seen the Pentagon, number 2. Let me show you the Merchandise Mart, finished in 1930 by Graham Anderson Probst and White, clad in what is called the Art Deco style of architecture. How can we all see Art Deco today? Vertical lines going upwards to the sky, gold glamorous diamonds, geometric designs, all here on the right side of the vessel. This building is beautiful, all representing the Roaring 20s here in the United States. However, it's large too. at about 4.2 million square feet. What does that number mean to somebody like me? Absolutely nothing. Want to know something that means something? This building here on the right is so large that it had its own zip code until the 90s at 60654 during that time. And don't worry about it, it's all behind you now. Because it is my pleasure to ask you to stop awkwardly looking at me. Look around. Because you're about to be on Wolf Point, where the three branches of the Chicago River meets. Left side of the vessel, you can see the South Branch. We'll go down a little bit later. We just came for the main branch today. Don't worry, we're not done yet. Right side of the vessel, the North Branch, which will go up in just a moment. But I'd like you to look around and imagine yourself along these riverbanks in the 1830s, where the Native American Potawatomi people were. And they noticed something growing along these riverbanks. Onions. And during the summer, those onions stunk. So what did they call them? Chica Agua, which translates to Chicago, which translates to stinky onion. That's exactly where we get the name Chicago from. It's not funny, don't laugh. But keep those eyes towards the left side of the vessel. You're going to be looking at a building with a parabolic arch at its base, a red constellation structure directly in front. This is River Point, designed in 2017 by Getchen Partners to be a very large glass hot pocket. And this hot pocket right here is going to be at its base these portholes, these little ventilation shafts. That's because it's built directly above active train tracks, which is going to be a very common theme as we head back down the South Branch later on this tour. Keeping those eyes towards the left side of the vessel though. I told you it's hot outside, it's humid, let's take it easy. So we're going to be looking at a building that is a residential building and it bends with the river. Any wild guesses on what its name is? If you guessed Residences at River Bend, you're right. Residential building bends with the river. At its base, townhomes. At its peak, condominiums. And I'm not sure how expensive it is to live on the inside of this building, but I can tell you how much a parking spot used to cost in the early 2000s. $50,000. Why? Well, you'd park in the base, and then you'd go all the way up to your lovely condominium. Or up there, you'd probably be getting an amazing view of the main branch of the Chicago River. Let's see that view to the right. You see the skyscraper, my friends? Designed 5 years ago and finished 5 years ago. Do you see what I'm getting at now? You're not getting that view anymore. So, you're now going to get this view here on the left side of the vessel of the oldest building you'll see on this tour today. Designed in 1898, this warehouse building is going to be a former cold storage warehouse. If you ever, or for some reason, were here in the early 1900s, this is where you're getting all your good meat goods. But if you're here now, if you're here in the 1970s, good news for you. You're going to be using residential space here on the left side of the vessel because it was readapted in the 1970s. Imagine going from a cold storage warehouse to living in it as a residential building. Well, they did just that. And the architect who designed its name was Harry Weiss, and he put starfish on the side of this building. He put portholes on top because he loved nautical themes. He loved boats so much that he built his next piece of architecture into a boat. Want to see that boat? Left side of this boat, as I introduce you to the River Cottages. Once again, designed in the 1980s by Harry Weiss. 4 units all going for about $2 million each, and all owned by the original owner today. Now, the River Cottages are very, very beautiful. So beautiful that Harry Weiss loved them so much that he actually wanted to move into the same exact building he designed. So he asked Mrs. Weiss, and her answer, no. But she probably missed this. If you quickly, and put some imagination glasses on, look back at the River Cottages, you'll be able to see 2 sailboats racing off towards Lake Michigan. And once you're done back there, you can look towards the right side of the vessel. As you look towards the right side of the vessel, you're going to be looking at a building called the East Bank Club. Designed in the 1960s, and designed in the 1960s to be essentially one of the largest and biggest, most expensive gym in Chicago. Because it's $250 per month to work out here on the right side of the vessel. Why? You're going to get some of the best state-of-the-art facilities. You might even get some of the best, and meet some of the best state-of-the-art people. Why? Well, we had people like Michael Jordan in there, Oprah Winfrey, the Obamas, all used to work out here on the right side of the vessel. And surely you're thinking, wow, they were getting such an amazing view of the Chicago River. You weren't thinking that, and they weren't. And that's because these windows weren't always there, thanks to the fact that later on this tour today, I'm going to tell you how bad our river used to be. It was ugly, it was stinky, it was smelly. We had a cold storage warehouse right next to a river. What do you think we